Urgent Steelers fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Latest Steelers blunder could cause them to draft wrong QB in 2025. Somebody in the front office messed up. If there's one thing the Pittsburgh Steelers can't afford to do, it's take the wrong quarterback early in the 2025 NFL Draft. When Ben Roethlisberger retired, head coach Mike Tomlin and former general manager Kevin Colbert locked themselves into Kenny Pickett in the first round. Now the Steelers are set to have a different starting quarterback for 5 straight seasons. On Friday, Pittsburgh's brass hosted Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart for a top 30 pre-draft visit. Dart is one of the fastest rising players in the draft and is being projected as a first-round pick, often linked to the Steelers at pick 21. But somebody made a colossal scheduling mistake that nobody is talking about. As the Steelers were meeting with Dart to see if he would be a good fit as their next franchise quarterback, Shedeur Sanders was balling out at the Colorado NFL Showcase. Most draft experts have a higher draft grade on Sanders. Unfortunately, the Steelers lacked top representation to see the Colorado prospect in action. Shedeur with a beauty. A scheduling error could cause the Pittsburgh Steelers to take the wrong QB in the 2025 NFL Draft. With each passing day that Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the likelihood seems to be improving that this team could select a quarterback as early as round 1 of the NFL Draft. While I don't blame the Steelers for doing their due diligence with Jackson Dart and bringing him in for a pre-draft visit, I do blame whoever decided to do this on the day that Shedeur Sanders was throwing for his workout. Sanders isn't a perfect prospect. He has only baseline arm talent for a starting NFL quarterback, but he has an 8 factor to his game that's hard to put a finger on. He can deliver an accurate football over the middle of the field, knowing he's going to take a lick from a defender, and he has a tendency to take over with the game on the line. Sadly, the lack of interest in Sanders could mean he's not a player. Pittsburgh will consider selecting in round 1 even if he manages to slip on draft day or falls within striking distance of a trade. After missing his pre-draft workout, history would suggest that the only way this team has a shot to take Sanders is if they bring him in for a top 30 visit. Quite frankly, it should have never come down to this. The Pittsburgh Steelers shouldn't have had to choose between Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart. They could have met with Dart on a different day, and Pittsburgh's brass could have attended Sanders' Colorado Showcase. Let's hope this scheduling catastrophe doesn't result in the Steelers taking the wrong quarterback in the 2025 NFL Draft. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest the black and gold news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Steelers have identified Aaron Rodgers' replacement before even signing him. The Steelers are taking matters into their own hands. There seems to be no end in sight to the drama surrounding Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, but at the end of the day, it might not even matter. As Rodgers continues to take his sweet time to decide whether he's playing football in 2025, Pittsburgh's front office is preparing as if he's not part of the picture. Leading up to the NFL Draft, the Steelers have expressed an interest in numerous mid-round quarterback prospects. Along the pre-draft scouting trail, they've met with players like Texas' Quinn Ewers, Alabama's Jalen Milroe, Ohio State's Will Howard, and Louisville's Tyler Show. Now, the Steelers appear to be eyeing more than just a backup quarterback. On Monday, the Steelers hosted Ole Miss Rebels quarterback Jackson Dart for a pre-draft visit. Dart has been flying up draft boards since the Senior Bowl, and the belief is that he will be a first-round pick when it's all said and done. After the news dropped, prominent NFL insider Ian Rappaport quoted a tweet from Alan Saunders of Steelers Now noting that Dart's visit with Pittsburgh is an interesting one. The longer the Steelers go without a quarterback, the more likely it seems they could pull the trigger on a QB early in the 2025 NFL Draft. At this rate, Jackson Dart could be the prize they are eyeing in the first round. The Pittsburgh Steelers could target Jackson Dart in the NFL Draft regardless of Aaron Rodgers' status, while signing Aaron Rodgers before the NFL Draft would give the Pittsburgh Steelers more flexibility at the quarterback position. A 41-year-old quarterback isn't going to change the way this team feels about Jackson Dart. After hosting Dart for a formal meeting at the NFL Combine, the Steelers didn't get enough, and Dart, a potential first-round quarterback prospect, claims a top 30 visit from Pittsburgh. This is a clear sign of Omar Khan's interest. The Steelers aren't about to let Rodgers make the rules, as Dart could be a player they target in the first round, no matter what at this point. If Rodgers doesn't sign with Pittsburgh before the draft, Khan could look to the future at quarterback. But even if Rodgers does sign, the Steelers could draft the 21-year-old quarterback to sit for a year behind Rodgers, who will turn 42 late in the 2025 season. We already knew that Jackson Dart checked most of the boxes the Steelers look for in a quarterback and a first-round pick. Now, it's as clear as day that there is heavy interest on the part of Pittsburgh's front office. This team may have already found a replacement for Aaron Rodgers before Rodgers even signed with the team. Pittsburgh Steelers out on trade for Pro Bowl quarterback, insider says. The Pittsburgh Steelers seem out on a potential trade for quarterback Kirk Cousins, according to James Palmer of Bleacher Report. Cousins, who will likely seek a trade to a new team after the NFL draft so he can become a starter once again, has long been rumored to head to the Cleveland Browns. For now, that has gone by the wayside, yet the Steelers also make sense for Cousins, but in their pursuit of Aaron Rodgers, they have fallen off the tracks and seem to be all in on the former four-time MVP. The Steelers called and kicked the tires early, but my understanding is that Arthur Smith, being the former head coach in Atlanta, still knows plenty of people in that building, and kind of got the word on where things are with Kirk in terms of his play and where he's at in terms of his play as a quarterback, Palmer said. The Steelers obviously have fallen off. Coming off a torn Achilles in 2023, Cousins never fully looked like himself after surgery and a return. Still, the Falcons signed him to a 4-year, $180 million contract that made him a highly compensated quarterback. In his one season with the Falcons, he threw for 3,508 yards with 18 touchdowns and a league-leading 16 interceptions in just 14 starts. Steelers explore new QB option after Aaron Rodgers news. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not letting the uncertainty surrounding Aaron Rodgers stop them from exploring other options at quarterback. The Steelers have met with the 41-year-old quarterback and have shown optimism that he will sign, with team president Art Rooney II telling reporters at league meetings this week that there are signs Rodgers will pick the Steelers. But a new report from Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio cast doubt on the situation, quoting a league executive who said Rodgers is instead hoping the Minnesota Vikings will come calling. I had somebody suggest to me yesterday, and I'm just sharing. What I heard, what this person's opinion is, Florio said, it's not a fact, it's not a report, but it's somebody who is in the ecosystem and isn't a low-level employee. This is a high-level person with one of the teams. The opinion is he doesn't really want to play for the Steelers, and he's waiting for Minnesota. Despite the hope that they can land Rodgers, the Steelers are looking into other quarterbacks for the 2025 season. Pro Football Talk's Miles Simmons reported that the Steelers hosted Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart on April 4th. Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reported that the Steelers have been considering taking Dart with the number 21 overall pick, but could also look to the later rounds for a signal caller. It has been widely speculated the Steelers also could have interest in Dart in the first round, but most of their attention in the pre-draft process has been focused on quarterbacks who are projected to go after the first round, Fittipaldo wrote. And now, Steelers fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for the black and gold. I'll be back any moment with more Steeler Nation. News! Here we go, Steelers! Here we go!